Canary Black, recently released on Prime Video and stars Kate Beckinsale, and it's one I've been anticipating a fair bit for a little while now. I believe it was filmed at least a couple or so years ago. Uh, I am a big fan of Kate Beckinsale. I love the underworld movies. Hellsing is actually one of my personal favorite movies of all time. And along with the fact this also features the late great Ray Stevenson in a supporting role, who I was a big fan of in everything from Dexter to Black Sails and what have you. Um, but yeah, I gotta say this wasn't a bad movie. A big critique I see of it is, oh, there's nothing original about it. It's a your typical like spy conspiracy action flick, and the notion of nothing original or not different enough, I think, is a little unfounded at times and a little bit too common of a criticism. Just because there's going to be an audience for everything. If you enjoy a horror movie, you're always going to like horror movies. Whether it's a formula or whether they do something innovative. Just like me, I'm always going to be in the mood for a certain kind of horror movie or action movie, a subgenre of it of some kind. So I don't think a film necessarily has to do something different every time, as long as it's good in the execution of what it's going for, and I enjoy the kind of film it is enough. I'm always going to be willing to watch a movie like it. Hopefully that made at least some sense. That being said, of course, there's cliches to this one, and the spy conspiracy thing isn't like my favorite type of subgenre in action. But that being said, Kate Beckinsale does carry it. She still does have a very specific star screen presence to her, I believe. I like her voice in this one. I don't know if she is attempting an American accent, which she's done before, or what, or it's just how her voice sounds these days. But I don't know. I like the sound of it. She of course does well in the fight scenes as well as the stunt work, which you can see behind the scenes footage of. She did quite a bit of it. Some wire work as well in terms of her scaling down structures and stuff like that. That being said, I didn't care for the story. Not just that it was cliche, I just thought it was kind of dull and kind of just there. I do like Ray Stevenson's part in it for while he's there. Of course it winds up that her husband is taken, possibly killed. I think they put a little bit too much stock in how much you care about that, though. The actor does a fine job, but I think the stronger dynamic was definitely between Beckinsale and Stevenson's characters. I think they should have leaned on that more than they did with the husband. So kind of the direction it goes, it's not as gratifying as the film wants you to think it is. But that being said, the action is solid. It is decent. Again, Beckinsale does carry it ably, as she always can. But that being said, if it wasn't Beckinsale, I probably wouldn't think about it again. There was nothing particularly distinct about it. Again, cliche or not, it was just kind of forgettable to me. I may flip it on again for Kate Beckinsale at some point just to see her in this kind of role. But she's done other action movies, even with Prime. Jolt a few years ago, I think was quite a bit more, notable, quite a bit more memorable. So, yeah, let me know you guys thought about it. I'm giving it probably a C. I really don't think it's any worse than that, but it's not really much better than that either. I could bump it up to a C+, perhaps, just because of the, her capabilities as an actor. But, yeah, follow me on TikTok, of course, Twitter, Instagram,